Hey, good afternoon, Secret Beachcombers. What the heck are you doing?
I was looking to see how many were watching.
Oh. We have 4 right now.
The camera.
Everyone will watch when they have a second. What's going on? Hey, let's talk cruising because it is that time again for Secret Beach Cruise number 2. Cocktail, come on now.
Cheers.
You can hold it. It's glazed. I got you a glazed one.
Oh, okay.
You think I get you an unglazed one, you dork? What's happening? So with me tonight is my lovely wife, Stacy.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi.
And my lovely assistant, Stephanie.
Hello.
I got a
Hello.
mug.
What is it? A little fish.
It is from the Haley Paley.
Look at that. How's your tiki mug collection coming?
We had to buy a second Tiki Club cabinet.
Nice.
Well, that's good news.
That's what I like to hear. All right.
We
All
added to it this weekend.
Cool. All right. So let's talk the cruise a little bit here. We had our first cruise last January, and we're finally getting the second cruise off the ground. It is this November, right? Yeah, November. First week in November. And this time we are cruising the Mexican Riviera. And this one we're going a little bit longer. Last time we did 5 days, and it was fun, but it felt a little too cramped for time. So we wanted to do 7 days. So we had a little bit more time for chilling because of those 7 days, you're in port 3, and then you're at sea 3 full days where it's just play all day, have fun, shuffleboard, pool, a lot of cocktails, and learning. Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. Learning. Yeah.
That's the best part.
That's fun too.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the last cruise a little bit, and then we'll get into what you need to do for this cruise. So I had a thought about 20 minutes before going live that we should do pictures. So they're in no particular order. So you're going to see them way out of order. Oh, let me tell you a story about my hat first, because it's a funny story. I bought this hat on my TV show Thrift Hunters when we were filming in Atlanta. And to get it home, I thought the only way to get it home safe and sound is to wear it on the airplane. So I'm in Atlanta, flying back to Vegas, and I'm into the airport, and I'm going up the escalator, and a guy coming down the escalator goes, "Hey, nice hat." I go, "Oh, thanks." He goes, "Just get back from Hawaii?"
What?
Okay, if you can't read, it says Corona Light, A, starters, B, not a Hawaiian hat. And I thought, moron. So I'm getting a little snack at the little snack stand, and a lady goes, "Hey, great hat. Just come back from Hawaii?" And I'm just like, what is happening? And a third person asked me, and I have a picture of me sitting waiting for the plane with just disgust on my face. I'm like, what makes you think this is a Hawaiian hat?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, and I meant to sell it, and I never sold it all around the air, and it's been sitting around my bedroom ever since. Now we're cruising Mexico. Guess what's coming with me?
Perfect.
Yeah.
You teach classes with that on.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. All right. So, here is the ship that we were on, docked in Cozumel. And let me back up to the first picture. Like I said, these are in no particular order. Okay. So one of the things when we're on the cruise is we I'll send you a little printout for the cruise, and then you decorate it any way you feel fit, make it your own. And that way we kind of know where each other's rooms are. So if the party is moving around the ship and we walk by a room that has a secret beach, we might knock. Let you know the party's moving. We did this last cruise. We're definitely gonna do it again this cruise. On one of the days in port, we will find like a beach party. So it's kind of like we looked at this one wasn't all inclusive. No, this one was kind of pay as you go. And there are some all inclusive ones. And so not mandatory, but we definitely had a blast all hanging out at the same beach for the whole day. We were drinking, eating, playing in the water. Some people got their hair braided. What else did we do there?
I think Alan got a foot massage.
Oh, yeah. Alan got a foot massage.
Alan disappeared. We couldn't find him.
Thought he left. Yeah.
We thought he left. Hello, Linda. I see you in the chat there.
That was a great day.
Okay, if you've never been on a cruise, there are a lot of fun and shenanigans and game shows. And in this particular game show, 3 of the 4 guys pictured here were part of our crew. So, we definitely weren't shy. Not that any of us ever are. And so this one, we had to spell out words and beat the girls. Oh, I didn't realize we started thing. So this was a lot of fun. That was me, Eric, and Andrew, and the short guy in the blue shirt. We don't know him.
Look how red Eric and Andrew's legs look.
Oh yeah. Guys, so we got you can't see it, but Andrew has the letter S, Eric's got T, that stranger's got O, and I got P. So they would yell out a clue, and then you have to spell like stop or pots or what. And man, that blue guy was terrible at it. So we just said, stand here and we'll move around you. Because the rest of us were good. We knew what we were doing. So we definitely started a pre-party in New Orleans before we went on the cruise. If you've never been to New Orleans, you must stop at Pat O'Brien's. And the drink of choice there is the Hurricane. We had quite a few before I decided we should have a 5-gallon Hurricane. And I had to put $75 down just on the hold on the glass. Because if I broke it, they were keeping my $75. Do you remember how much that cost?
100 and something.
100 some bucks. And so we all took turns drinking out of it. And at one point, I looked to my left as I'm drinking, and there's a person drinking out of it that ain't with us.
We had no idea who she was.
Yeah. That's how kind of drunken shenanigans got.
The alcohol killed the jerk.
Oh, yeah.
So we were fine.
And then there is definitely, they used to be a little more formal back when we first started cruising. Like people would actually pack their tuxedos. They're not that formal anymore, but there are a couple nights where you want to dress up. You don't have to. It is not mandatory by any means. But if you want to get a little pretty on one night, bring a nice, button-down shirt or a pretty dress. My mom and dad, for those you don't know. And that's Debbie and Bill in the O for Cozumel. We were having a fight with the Royal Caribbean ship next to us. We were all out egg war. And then a funny story about the disco. If you look at the pole in the disco, it's a pretty thick pole.
It's like a support beam.
Yeah, it's like a support beam. So if you've ever been to a strip club, think of the size of the stripper pole. Well, this ain't that size. It's way bigger. And this girl who was a stripper kept trying to work the pole. And yeah, that doesn't work when the pole is like 4 times bigger than normal. But we enjoyed it.
She tried.
For sure. Yeah.
Great. This was yours, right, Steph? This picture?
Yes.
This is a great picture.
Thank you.
Excellent picture. Just if you've never been on a cruise, especially around sunset time, watching the sun go down, watching the ocean go by, it's very romantic. Oh, smoochy, smoochy.
Yes.
Part of the pre-party was we started a tiki bar in New Orleans, and we'll be doing the same in LA. There is a brand new tiki bar in Long Beach, and Long Beach is where the boat takes off from. We were thinking about doing other bars. Some of us might go in a couple days early to do some other bars, but for the mass of us, it'll definitely be easier to hit a tiki bar because there's one very, very close now. I've not been to it yet, so I can't tell you how good or bad it is, but all our friends have been hanging out there. Yeah. And there's the same Cozumel with my mom and dad. There was some wicked shuffleboard tournament going on. That's Debbie's husband, Bill, showing everyone what's what.
Skills.
And this was part of the New Orleans crew. Who was this after or before?
No, this was on our way to the ship, and this is when new lifelong friendships began. Yeah.
So a lot of people met for the first time, and you're right. Now there's lifelong friendships, and that's the best part about the cruise is all the people you kind of know online that you've never met. What a great way to hang out with them. Get trapped on a boat for 7 days. That's a great way to meet people. No, I'm just kidding. But we had a good time. And if you've never been on a boat, the boats are big enough that if you don't want to see people, you don't have to. There's plenty of places to be.
Yes.
The rule on this cocktail was you're not allowed to pick up the glass. Of course, I don't follow the rules too well. And I did get yelled at one time like, hey, you've already held my $75. If I break it, it's on me, man. I'm pretty sure this is my arm. I was pushing the sunset down.
Oh, good job.
It sounds about, but it's long sleeve. Are you wearing long sleeve?
Yeah, when we were leaving, remember it was cold.
Oh, yeah.
So a fun thing to do is to watch yourself leave port. Now, the one thing we did not do any research on leaving New Orleans, I thought New Orleans was right on the Gulf. And so we were off and running. So we're watching and waiting for us to get out, and we're waiting. And 30 minutes goes by and an hour goes by. Well, luckily we left. We found out that it takes 4.5 hours to get to the Gulf. So thank God we didn't stand there for 4.5 hours.
Yeah, it wasn't that exciting.
No, it wasn't.
No.
Here are some fresh coconut cocktails at the beach party we spent the day at. And, oh, hey, I forgot. There are classes going on, too. So here's some teaching we're doing. And, of course, you got to dress the part. And I would like to say this is part of the classes, but Carlson Charlie's.
Yeah.
We were
Right?
dancing at Carlson Charlie's.
That was Bill's birthday.
Yep.
The 60th.
Tearing it up with Bill. Debbie sent me this. It took me 1.5 seconds to figure out what it was. This is us smuggling booze onto the boat.
Bag. Yeah.
These are
Oh, I see it
soft-sided
now. Yeah.
flasks that are easy to pack in your luggage, and they can get to your room no problem. So if you want to save a couple bucks, bring some booze with you. Again, we had some classes. We had 2 days of classes, but we didn't take up the whole day because we definitely wanted everyone to go out and have fun at the pool. Here is the Northern California crew, either coming or going. I'm not sure which one. Linda, Henry, Bill, and Debbie. There's the ship. And this was casual night. Just kidding. This was dress up night again. And apparently there was a beer and some wine. I'm guessing that was your beer.
Probably.
I think Joy was doing the Macarena or some shit like that.
A sail away party.
Yep.
Some line dancing situation.
Yeah, there's definitely, the boat throws all kinds of parties all day, every day for this excuse, that excuse. It is a ton of fun being on a boat.
Always something going on. If you
Lot,
want to.
and live parrots at our beach party. I don't even remember what the hell we were doing in this game.
Eric was giving birth.
Oh,
I don't remember.
I was holding his head down. Great.
You were the coach. Yep, you were the coach.
This was the room we actually had our meetings in was the piano bar. So during the day we had our meetings. At night it was the piano bar. So we had a lot of fun and shenanigans in there. More drinking of the cocktails. Look at my mom. She's like, go, 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 go. One of Mom's many dress-up outfits for the cruise. They had a Mardi Gras party. This was obviously our room, Jason and Stacy. Me teaching again. More game shenanigans, cocktail shenanigans. I kind of like this shot. It's kind of like the
cheesecloth.
Yeah,
romantic.
it's very romantic. Chris and Eric there. I kind of like that. Parrots at the beach party. My dad giving a toast to the whole table, obviously. Debbie and Bill relaxing at Margaritaville. We're in the elevator going somewhere. Party in the elevator. There was some mad, crazy miniature golf going on. And then this was the beach we sat on all day. So that, white sand beaches, that's the kind of thing we're definitely going to look for on one of the days that we're on shore. We're on shore 3 times, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and Cabo San Lucas. They'll definitely be partying a lot at Cabo for sure. Debbie and Bill at Margaritaville. Why is that picture low? That's weird. So my mom and dad got up on stage and embarrassed me and danced.
They're great dancers.
You want something.
Yes, not because they were dancing, because they were getting sexy. And that's it. Here is the crew. Here's everyone that took the classes. Now, there are a few people that are not in this picture. A few spouses came. They didn't take the classes. That's just fine. You want to bring friends, kids, whatever.
Kids.
Adult kids.
All right.
But this was our class crew. Oh, Mom said, how dare you? I knew. I wonder why these came up short. Debbie was a little cold.
It was a little windy that night.
Yeah, it was a little windy that night. Debbie was a
She was
little
watching football.
We were trying to watch football, I think. Yep.
little chilly. And here we are, definitely being tourists, drinking yard cocktails. And they had stuff to play in the water. So we paid a little extra to go play in the water and climb and slide and jump and pretend we're kids. And I wanted to share this because this boat we took, is this the first or the second cruise? Was this Mexico? I don't remember. Anyway, we took this cruise. It might have been our first or our second cruise. If you notice, I don't have a big beard and I have orange hair.
Where are the tattoos?
No tattoos.
And a yard drink again.
A yard drink. I'm wearing jorts. I have my wallet on a chain and I have a hip pack on. So I rock that outfit for sure. But we took this picture 22 years ago.
Maybe more.
23. And so we try to recreate it. So there we go. We couldn't get the same angle on the boat, but there it is.
Where's your shirt?
What shirt?
Your Lula shirt.
Oh, sorry.
Is Eric there?
Eric's here.
Hi.
I
Hi,
told
everybody.
him he wasn't dressed appropriately, though.
It's true.
I know you're dressed. You're dressed for a safari, not a cruise.
Well, we could safari in Mexico too.
True. All right, so let's answer some questions because I did see we had some questions in the Secret Beach, and this does not mean it's the end of the questions. You can ask questions all you want, but here's the thing: The deposit is due by, what was the date, Steph?
March 26th.
Okay. The deposit is fully refundable. So even if you're like halfway there, get your deposit in. You know, you don't have to have it paid off until the end of August. So you've got the entire spring, the entire summer, but after that deadline, you could still take the cruise, but you're going to pay a higher price. So why pay more money? Get your deposit in. It's
$250 per person.
Yes. All right, let me get to the, there we go. There's the questions. All right. So Cayenne says, my question is about alcohol. Is there a wristband or something we can purchase for unlimited drinks? Yeah, you don't get a lower price, but what was it, about $50 a day, Steph?
Yeah, 51 per day.
51 per day. And the thing is, though, everyone in the same cabin has to get it.
Yep.
And we got it because we're drinkers, and we had a hard time drinking that much.
We bought drinks.
We just gave away drinks all day. So unless you can just really own it, I would recommend sneaking in a little rum in those little flasks, and I'll put the link to get those flasks off of Amazon, and just buying a couple drinks a day. It is way better. Like, we were just trying to give out drinks at the end of every day because I already prepaid for it, so I might as well.
But those also include soft drinks, right? Because the only thing for free is water, juice, coffee,
and tea.
So if you do drink a lot of soda and a lot of alcohol, then it might be worth it.
There is also, you could buy just a bubble card, I think they call it. I'm not sure what that price is, but that's just for the all you can drink sodas.
Now, if you've never been on a cruise, once you get on, you know, all the food's included, the entertainment's included. There are a couple things like obviously drinks. There's usually one nicer restaurant that you'll pay like almost like a cover charge. So like you'll go to the fine steak restaurant and pay like an additional $10 or something. And then if you want to do excursions, now when we first started cruising 25 years ago, there wasn't the internet, there wasn't smartphones. So if you wanted to book an excursion, it was really through the boat. Nowadays, you can book the same excursion for a better price directly through like the travel companies that have stuff on each of these stops, and you can check them all out on TripAdvisor. So, you know, you're not being like going to be taken and kidnapped and thrown in a cave and then you're done with. You know, some of the best ones we've ever done are ones I booked directly, not through the ship. Now, if you feel safer through the ship, that's cool too, but you're going to get more bang for your buck going direct.
And our travel agent, Joanne, is a cruise specialist, and she really enjoys helping everyone. So she is one of the services she offers with booking with her is that she will book some of these excursions for us outside of the cruise. So she has the experience, and she's been to all these places and can give top recommendations and do the booking for us for no extra charge.
And she can handle, like, my mom had a question. She's rooming with my aunt. How do I sign up so we can be in the same cabin? So she'll put that all together, and you can talk to her directly. So obviously, Stacey and I are signing up for the same cabin. Stephanie and Eric are. But my mom, my aunt, wouldn't be on the same registration. But Joanne can put you all together. And I know we have a few people that are going to go solo, and they're looking for roommates. So I can start a post. Just get your registration in, get your deposit in, and we'll get it all. You know, we'll figure out who else is going solo. Well, maybe we'll have a little like the dating game that you're most compatible with.
Last year, Joy and Punky had never met and roomed together, and then that turned into Joy moving to Arizona and living with Punky for a couple of months.
Yeah, they hang out all the time. So, all right. So Debbie, Kyan also says, "What's recommended amount of money to bring with us, whether it is bank or cash?" All right. So when you're on the boat, everything's done with your room key. So you are basically going to register either like a credit card or a debit card with the boat. And then if you are going to buy a drink or pay that extra for the fancier restaurant or whatever, you just give them your room key and it gets charged to your card. When you're on land, anytime you're at a major place, I would recommend using a credit card. It automatically gets, what do you call it?
Like insurance?
No. Transferred into the local currency. You can use cash. I would recommend having cash for tips. There's water taxis to take over Lovers Beach in Cabo, so probably have cash for that. But you don't need a ton of cash. Did you guys buy any souvenirs when we were out and about?
We did.
And we'll be in 3 stops
I
this
mean,
time. So we'll have a lot more chance to buy souvenirs.
Yeah, we only had we did an hour's worth of power shopping in Cozumel after our beach time.
Yeah.
Oh, and Linda's got a great tip in the chat. She says, tell your bank you're going to be in Mexico so they don't block your funds. Happen to them. So yeah, it's always a good idea to give a heads up, especially when you're traveling internationally. Do we bring cash to tip the room, Stuart? Nope. You will be tipping the whole staff, and you can do that automatically on your credit card with your room. We don't absolutely not a have to. We do like to tip our steward a little bit first day. Just get an extra fancy little towel character folded for us or now we did that when we took early cruises, and our first travel agent taught us how to bring beer in our suitcase. And so we had tipped our steward, and we let him see we had beer. And so every day when we got back on the ship, he had put 4 in the ice bucket every day for us. Yes. So yeah, you take care of the people who are taking care of you. They'll take care of you even more.
But it's absolutely not necessary.
Right. You don't have to, but chatting with the people that take care of you, being super extra friendly, talking with them, give them a little bonus. It helps. Passports. Yep. You pretty much got to have passports anywhere nowadays, outside of domestic travel. And I highly recommend them. So if you don't have one, got to go get it. Is it recommended that we bring a wind-up battery operated alarm clock to double check time on our phones? Since we are traveling to Mexico, will that all be Pacific Standard Time? Yes. She said, Debbie said, my phone goofed up one night and our alarm went off early. We did change time zones in the last cruise.
But everything goes by ship time.
Right. Yeah. And this is the same. We're not going to any other time zones either. Yeah. So it's ship time, and it'll be the time zone we are in. Oh, wow. I take that back. Alan says Puerto Vallarta is actually a mountain time. Really? They're all in a row. How could that be? They're all in a row on the coast. Oh my gosh. Debbie says, will there be professional photos taken as we board the ship and on the ship? Yep. They're there to make money. So one of the extra ways to make money is they take pictures of you everywhere. Getting on the boat, going to the fancy dinner, getting off the boat, doing this, doing that. Take them all, because you don't got to buy them. But then they're all for sale in this little area. And so what we did was I think we bought 1 or 2, but we would just take pictures of the ones we didn't want to buy. So we still have the pictures.
But you're not supposed
just
to
don't
do
get
that.
caught.
Don't get caught.
Yeah, don't get caught. Well, you got to be sly. Now, look, I'm a big fella. If I can be sly and do it, anyone can do it. It's got to have that skill to pull it off. Debbie said, should we bring a nicer outfit for a dress-up dinner night? Yeah. Like I said, again, not mandatory. Oh, hey, Steph, I didn't ask. You remember on our first cruise, it was dine when you want, right?
Yes.
Is that this cruise too?
Yes.
Okay.
And everyone can sign up for when they want, but I told her last time almost everyone did, pick your own dining time.
Okay.
But if somebody wants to pick a early or the late dining, they can do that too.
And we always dine together, even though there wasn't like this huge plan. Like, you don't have to, but you'd walk in the dining room and there'd be a table of 10 of us here and 8 of us over there, and that way, there wasn't this concrete, be here at 7. Some of us walked in at 7, some of us walked in at 7:30, just whenever when dinner worked into your day. How do we prevent seasickness? Drink heavily. Besides that, the wristbands work.
Yep.
Yeah. The sticker behind the ear, the patch behind the ear, and definitely Dramamine.
And the Bonine.
Bonine, excuse me, Bonine.
Better.
We like Bonine
and
better.
The ginger chews,
the ginger vitamins,
especially if you become nauseous. Those work too.
Now we did the wristbands on our first cruise, right?
No,
we
just did Bonine on the first.
Oh, we did Bonine, and we cruised into a hurricane. And as we were getting on the boat, the hurricane had just decimated the East Caribbean, and we were supposed to go to the West. And now the hurricane was parked in the West. So they said, as we were boarding the boat, hey, we're going to the East. So as we went to the East, we were in the seas of a hurricane. And because we had already taken the Bonine early, Stacey and I weren't sick, and everyone else was. Now there's no hurricanes on the West coast of Mexico. Don't worry about that. But it was great because they have the captain's party and they give you free drinks, and no one was drinking. So a waitress walked by with a full tray of drinks. And I said, hey, just give us the whole tray. And she did.
The wristbands can be ordered. The wristbands can be ordered on Amazon.
Yeah.
And the patches are prescription, so that would be something you'd have to get from your doctor.
Yeah. But we did the wristbands this time. I don't know why we did them, just to be safe, and it worked great.
And is it worth it to upgrade to a room with a balcony? If you can afford it, I highly recommend it. Our first cruise we took, we were just newly married, had no money, had to like sock cash away in a drawer to get this cruise paid off. And we booked the cheapest room, which was inside lowest. But I will tell you, it was the darkest room we have ever slept in. And so, man, if you like darkness and want a good night's sleep, get an interior room. Holy shit, is it dark. But we won a cruise on the first cruise we took, so we ended up in a suite in the second cruise. And once we had a balcony once, you never not want a balcony because it's so nice to walk out at night when you get in and watch the moon go by. It's so nice in the morning to open the door, hear the waves going by, see us coming in and out of port. It is definitely worth the money to have a balcony room. Did you guys have a balcony last time?
We did.
Oh, yeah.
Spend a lot of time out there.
We had bow balcony, though.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
And this time, since we're doing 7 days, you'll get a lot more balcony time too.
Yes.
Really worth your money to hang out on your balcony, and then you can have your friends over, play little cards, naked twister, whatever you like.
That's my favorite.
And then Ann wants to know how we should book if we're looking for a roommate. Just get your deposit in, and then Joanne will help us pair everyone up. So obviously, we're in the same household, easy for us to book. But if Ann's going to room with Velma, let's say, just get your deposit in, and then we'll have Joanne put you guys together. I think my mom had a question here. Is there a costume night on the ship? And if so, what is it? Do we know that, Steph?
We don't know that yet.
Okay. And then, Stephanie, did you find out which balcony cabin is the best?
I did, but I don't remember now.
I knew that was going to be the second part that we were like, I did.
I believe it was 8C, but I could be wrong there. I'll post that in the group.
Okay.
And if you have any of these questions, and if you don't want to do the registration online, just give our agent Joanne a call. And she's more than happy to do the booking for you just over the phone. But the online one is for if people don't like to talk on the phone, do it online. But if you have questions or doing 2 people with 2 separate forms of payment, just give her a call and she'll take care of it for you.
Yep. But cruising is a ton of fun. And the first time we cruised, it was just me and her. We were in a big group, but we didn't know anybody in the group. Second time we cruised was with my mom and dad, so that was even a little bit more fun. And the third time we cruised with 40 people. And that was a blast. Now, cruising me and her would be just fine too. But man, when you got 40, or last time we had like 60 some, no matter where you went, you ran into somebody. Now you could avoid them if you want, but like if you're sitting at the bar, that there's a bar called the Alchemy Bar that the drinks cost extra, but man, are they amazing. And every night we bump into each other hanging out at the Alchemy Bar and go grab a slice of pizza at midnight. There's a couple people from the Secret Beach hanging out. So it's fun. When you're in a big group, it is so much fun just to do things en masse. So, I got a fresh question. If I drive to Long Beach, how much is it to park your car? That's a great question, which we don't have an answer for, but we will because we're driving. So we'll figure it out. I can't imagine the parking at the terminals all that expensive because the ones out of Long Beach are such people who live there take them. Yeah. And even in Florida, a lot of Florida, like we went on a Southern Caribbean cruise and I got a viral infection an hour into the cruise and it put me out of commission the whole cruise. And so we were in Barbados, right? Barbados, where I didn't go out at all. I sent you guys out with Levi. One of the prettiest places in the Southern Caribbean. And at one point, I got up after being in bed for like 9 hours. I'm like, I probably should eat something. So I walked into the back, and I had to go through the pool to the food. And every pool chair was full. I'm like, what are all you people doing on the boat? It's locals who get these screaming deals. They've been in Barbados many times. They just want
around for a week.
Yeah, they just want to sit in the boat. So, what the hell was I talking about? Why did I say that?
Parking.
Oh, parking. So yeah, so both these ports have a lot of parking. So I can't imagine that it's nutty. But we'll definitely find out because we're definitely driving in because we're going to come in like 2 days early and hit the Tiki Bar circuit around Southern California.
Maybe Amoeba too.
Debbie says she thought she heard it was free. That'd be awesome.
Well, nothing's free in California.
Yeah, it's probably not.
But it's also one of those things where too is if you park next to it, it's probably a cost of money. You know, the further away you park. So Debbie loved the chocolate yogurt machine.
The
Yeah, I
all-night
mean,
pizza bar.
what'd you say?
The all-night pizza bar. How many times did we go there?
Too many.
You know what I loved about the older ships? The all-night pizza bar was right on the back of the boat. So we would get a slice at like 2 a.m. and walk out the back of the boat and sit. So you're just watching the waves go by and watching the moon come up. And I'm like, I mean, you can still get there at some point, but man, it was right there. You got the pizza, turn around, walk out the door, boom, you're sitting down outside. It was awesome. And, you know, there's tons of shows on the boat. Like I said, there's games. There's all this stuff to do, belly flop contest. I mean, what you would expect, you know, belly flop contest, pillow fight contest, all kinds of fun stuff. And there will be kids on the boat, but they keep them super duper busy. We are on our first cruise. It happened to be over Halloween. And like 3 days into the cruise, we were at the front desk asking them something. And the parade of kids wearing costumes walked by us. And the parade was so long. I'm like, all these kids have been on this boat for 3 days? Awesome. All right. Debbie says it's $20 a day to park.
Thank you, Debbie.
I like free better, Deb, but I like $20.
We talked about the deposits, but let's say again that the deposits are fully refundable until final payment. And that's what we didn't mention. The final payment is due August 19th.
Yeah, so we got
Paid in full.
So we have 5 months to get you paid in full. And if by some chance you can't go in those 5 months, get your money back. But get the deposit in, get your place held, and that way we'll, you know, figure out the rest after that. The way Carnival works is they'll give deals for groups like we got, but they only hold them for so long because if people drag their feet and they never book, they need to fill these boats up. So as of March, what is it, 26, they're taking back whatever we don't use and they're putting it back up for full price sale.
So have you posted like what boat it is so people can take a look at it?
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, we posted what boat it is, and
It's the Miracle.
oh, and then Debbie said, "Oh, it might be $17 a day." So we'll find out for sure.
Well, the price is going in the right direction.
Yeah, it's going in the right direction. So, yeah. So I know there's probably more of you are going to watch this after the fact. So we're happy to answer any questions. If you've never cruised, don't be worried. You have all these veteran cruisers. We can hold your hand through everything. It's super easy, super fun. And hey, if you don't want to go to the classes, don't. It's not again, nothing's mandatory. Here's what's mandatory: have fun, enjoy the week, have fun. But we're gonna have some classes. I've already got a contest. I got a quiz based on teaching you guys music. So I have a contest. We'll have prizes, and I got some ideas about who's gonna teach what. So all kinds of fun stuff. And that's it. You want to sleep all day? Sleep all day. You want to party all night? Party all night. It's cool. Some of us will be there no matter what. There'll be some 6 a.m.ers up walking the track, and there'll be some of us in the disco till 2 a.m.
Absolutely.
Actually, when a stripper's trying to work a pole that's way too big every single night. Yeah, Linda asked a million questions last year. Now Linda's a veteran cruiser, so she can answer all the questions, right, Linda? And what else? Oh, somebody became a grandmother.
Yes.
Congratulations, Stacy. Oh, no. Congratulations, Steph.
Thank you.
What's the deets? Who is he? What is he?
He was born on February 28th, 20 minutes shy of my daughter's kind of birthday. She was born on leap year, so there wasn't a leap year this year. So, but just she couldn't hold him in 20 more minutes to have him born on her birthday. They were trying. They told her to close her legs because the doctor wasn't there yet, but that didn't work. And his name is William, and he's wonderful. He's living with me. Him and his mom and dad are living with us just for a little bit while their house is getting some renovations done. So it's been amazing. Love having him here.
Cool.
I'll ask you that same question in 3 weeks. Still love having him there?
We sleep on very different parts of the house, so I can't hear him.
Yeah, Debbie had a great point. Every single cruise that at least Carnival has will have a Facebook group just for that cruise, like that specific week, that specific cruise. So not just an overall one for that boat. It'll be for the week we're going. So not just us. It'll be any person on that boat. So there's always good, and we were in the last one. There's always good discussions on excursions. there's many people who do the same cruise over and over and over. I don't know why, but they'll be like, yeah, we did 3 times this year. And so they'll be like, yeah, if you go to this beach, it's great. If you go to this beach, it's not so good. So there's a lot of great content, and we'll make sure we share that group with everyone. So besides, and we'll have a Secret Beach Goes Cruising group just to make it easier for those of us who are going to talk, but then we'll be also in the one for the whole cruise. Linda wants to know, are you grandma? Are you Nana? What are you?
That's up for debate. I say I'm Honey. My daughter nannies, and the little girl she nannies calls me Honey, and I like it. My daughter says that sounds like a stripper name, so she says no, but we'll see.
Next on stage, my grandma Honey. On deck is Cinnamon. And my mom had a good point. One of the newer things to cruise in, because there was this long break that we hadn't cruised, is there's a free app that you can use on the boat, and you can chat with your friends. So once we get on the boat, I register, Stacy register. So you can still use
kind of like Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're all together on this app, and that way I'm like, hey, I'm in the Alchemy bar. Whoever wants to come down and drink, or we're at the disco dancing. So it makes it easy to communicate with each other. And most every place we went to in port had Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So you can pay for, like, Wi-Fi packages on the ship, and I think they had levels, like one for just messaging, one for like full on streaming YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But when you're in port, you're at a restaurant, you're at a beach, you're at a bar, they all have Wi-Fi. So most of us would catch up with everyone back home at those points. And I think that's it for now. Okay. So that's kind of like another question. How many days ahead of the cruise shall we report for Tiki tours? Probably 2. 2.
That's an important question.
2 sounds good. It only takes us 3.5 hours to drive to Southern California, LA area. So it's easy for us to get in there. We'll hit the tour. The only problem is LA is huge. Like, we were in New Orleans. Yeah. We're just in New Orleans. So we want to go to a tiki bar in Anaheim. We want to go to a tiki bar in Hollywood. We want to go to a tiki bar in North Hollywood. None of those 3 cities are near each other. They're all spaced out, but we'll work it around.
Narrow it down.
Yeah. All right, so that's the beginning of this. I will be reminding you every day up until the deadline to get your deposit in. And don't forget, fully refundable. But if you have an inkling you're going, hold your price, hold your room, hold your spot, and then figure it out. Fully refundable. So there is no risk.
No risk.
Yeah.
None at all.
No risk. But the upside is tons of fun. New friends, old friends, strippers on poles that don't work, fun stuff like that.
And learning.
I forgot. And learning.
Yeah, and learning.
And not just learning from your classes, but sitting and talking with everyone. Everyone was talking about their stores and what they sell and tips, and I've learned so much.
Yeah. Now, oddly enough, I have my Secret Beach webinars tomorrow night. I haven't finished that yet. I have to give a speech at ASD next week. Haven't even started that yet. But I already got things figured out for the cruise, which is in November. Yeah, my priorities are a little out of whack right this moment. But I was showering the other day, and I'm thinking about the cruise. I'm like, oh, this will be fun. It'll be learning, but it'll be fun. So I already got good ideas all planned out. So, so that's that.
Great.
Yeah. All right. Well, good to see you, kids.
You too, and just keep posting your questions in the chat link and in the cruise link, and we'll keep answering them.
Oh, hey, turn that. Talk for a second. I should have thought about this ahead of time. I got an idea how to end this. Tell us more, Steph. What else can you tell us?
Dance, Stacy. Let's see Stacy's hula.
I don't have enough room. I need a lot of space.
On to Mexico.
Baby.
Yes, if you hear that sound and you're not on the boat yet, you better hustle. All right? Get familiar with that sound. That means we're out of here. I saw a video.
Won't wait for you.
No.
I saw a video on YouTube the other day. There was a different crew. There was 2 cruise ships in dock. One had done that and were pulling away, and someone on the other cruise ship who wasn't leaving yet saw a couple coming up after the gangplank was up, and they were just left behind in Mexico.
It happens.
Don't miss it.
All
right, everybody.
Oh, and one other important thing: don't leave your sailing sign card on the ship when you go into port.
I didn't leave it on the ship. I lost it in port.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You know where you lost it?
No, because that's how they found it. Someone turned it in.
Well, maybe you lost it on the ship.
So yeah, I lost my sail and sign card, which proves you're on the ship. As we were getting back on the ship, wasn't in my pocket, and I had to convince him I was on the ship. So as we walked actually on to physically walk down the ship, you got to go through the metal detectors. The girl at the gate goes, Jason Smith, and I'm like, how'd you know my name?
Back, Jason.
And she's like, I've got your sail and sign card. Someone dropped it off. They found it. Yes. Don't lose your sail and sign card. Funny guy. Just for that, you're out. All right, everybody. Like I said, Stephanie and I will be around the Secret Beach. My mom's helping too. We'll be happy to answer any questions, but I am going to post every single day until the deadline to make sure to remind you to get your deposit in. And who wouldn't want to hang out with us? Come on now.
No brainer.
Who would want to drink a 5-gallon Hurricane? We'll find the equivalent.
We'll find a 5-gallon margarita.
Yeah, for sure.
You will.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Secret Beachcombers. And I'll see you around the Secret Beach. And don't forget, tomorrow night, got a webinar. Get ready.
Adios.
Bye.